have on the back.
What's going on, beautiful people? I'm the Grandmaster, and I also go by D-Ray, bringing you guys the next episode of the Grandmaster's Table, joined by none other than my beautiful co-host, Summer. Go ahead and say hi.
Hi.
And guys, today we have a very special episode for those who are big fans of the Draft League community, the man that has more championships than I can count, the man that created his own Draft League this generation, invited a bunch of people, and then won it. So that's a big thing. Welcome, SixFtHax.
Yeah, boss of YouTube, aka what's up YouTube, how's it going? My name is SixFtHax, so you can just call me Leo. Leo is fine. So what's up? Happy to be here. Hopefully this goes great. If you enjoy it, leave a like, leave a comment, check me out, subscribe to them. And
for sure. Please guys, do us a massive favor. If you're new here, if you're one of the followers and supporters of Leo, do me a massive favor, like I said, hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications, hit the bell button so you guys get notified every single time we post a new video. We're very excited, so hit that like button to show your support. My man, how are things going? I know we're kind of running in thickle times. Everything been good today? How's it been lately?
Busy, honestly, like all the, the corona stuff and everything going on with the protests and stuff has been pretty wild. I live in like such a little town that like really nothing has been affected by any of this. So
yeah, same for us.
Yeah, it's just basically been like everyday stuff except just like seeing everything on the media and online and all that basically.
Where do you reside?
I don't actually live in Durham. For those of you who like know my geography stuff, my name is Durham Dredigons. I live probably like 20-30 minutes from there, but I live in like a really like little town. Literally, if like you're driving from beginning to end of the town, you can get through the whole thing like just going straight in like 2 minutes. Honestly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like such a little town, so it's like in the middle of nowhere out in bum area, North Carolina. So it's not anything too crazy, but it's nice. Like I've never like lived in the city or anything like that, so I don't mind the ruralness. And,
so you've got
like,
the simple life.
The simple life, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So what do you do for a living? You said that you're not really affected too much about your day-to-day operations, but what do you do outside of YouTube content?
I got 3 little boys that I watch every day. Yeah, with my awesome girlfriend. I work at a little restaurant like in my town too, so it's like a little 30-second drive, so that's not entirely too bad. Yeah, so it's just restaurant working, taking care of my 3 little boys and working with the girlfriend for stuff.
That's rough. That's
3
crazy.
boys, that's intense.
Sometimes we have 2 kids and one of them's a boy, and he is sometimes like tough to handle. So I can't imagine how you deal with it.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, I don't have a daughter, so I don't know how that is, but I'm sure it's like totally different than raising the boys.
Yeah, our daughter, she is literally like an exact definition of a Sour Patch Kid. She is so sassy, and she'll be so mean and like has so much attitude.
So
and then,
savage.
Yeah, and then the next second she's like giving us hugs and kissing us and like saying like all excited to see us. It's wild.
Oh, that sounds adorable. Yeah, I have little boys that run into me whenever I come home.
Oh,
so.
That's the
awesome.
best.
Leo has so much testosterone that he just can only produce boys. Just an army of
crazy.
boys.
Like, so my parents, like, they've been wanting like a granddaughter, and when we told them that we were pregnant with their 3rd one, they were like, "Oh, hopefully it's a girl. Maybe it'll be a girl." My girlfriend Laura was also really looking forward to having a girl, but we got another little boy, and then my 2 older sisters ended up having our first, having their first granddaughter, basically.
Yeah.
So.
Aww, they got their granddaughter. That's cute.
Do you have any plans on trying again?
Jeez.
Anytime soon, hopefully. I'm good right now. 3
Yeah.
more than enough.
Yeah. I'm at like 2 is more than enough. I'm like, geez, Louise.
Kids can be they can be
Didn't
a handful,
think it would
man.
be this crazy.
It's
not like anything entirely too insane, but
always worth it in the end.
Yeah.
Always worth it.
Definitely worth it.
Here, calm them down and all the normal stuff.
So going into YouTube, how long have you been on the platform? How long have you been making content?
So honestly, in YouTube years, I'm like old. I'm really old. In YouTube year wise, like I don't know how to put it. Like I've been here since before 5th gen, basically. Like actually, I just looked up on my channel the other day when my like earliest upload was, and it was like 2011. But before then, I had a different channel, which I had there for like the last couple months of 4th gen. 4th gen ended. Then 5th gen came out, and I started 6FtHax. And that was so probably like 9-10 years almost, honestly.
Wow.
That's a while. You're a vet.
Yeah.
That's the definition.
I've been here from the beginning of the Pokemon community. I've seen it grow. I've seen it fall into shambles. I've been here through it all, even though I guess I'm not like the biggest person out there, and that's just because I've kind of distanced myself and just personal reasons. But yeah, like I've seen it all, man. Like YouTube's been crazy. I remember back in the day before, like nobody knew you could even get partnered for this. Like you couldn't make money back then off of Pokemon. Like that was like an imaginary dream that nobody could get. And then it just started going from 5th gen, and partners kept coming, and it's blown up. Like it's crazy now seeing like all the players and all the different stuff. It's honestly really amazing to see just how from the little few people that were there from when I started to seeing like everybody now, people making a living off of this. It's honestly insane. It's crazy.
That's incredible. So I can only imagine what you feel, because I've only been a fan of YouTube, I think, in the Draft League community for about a year, 2 years. And then I came in August. And then even now it's completely changed. The fact that you've been here for so long, literally seeing the very beginning of the timeline to like completely new people and then flipping 180, and then that's awesome. That's
and
crazy.
Just sticking around through for that, because a lot of people, most people will not do that at all. Stick through it all. That's amazing.
And I know that you said that you stepped away a couple times, but nonetheless, if you're still here, that's discipline, man. Have you ever thought about not doing this anymore? Did you ever get to that point where you're like, man, this is a little bit too much now?
No, like right now, the past few months, I haven't really uploaded much, and that's kind of been, I guess, me kind of taking a step back just because of personal life stuff and personal issues I have going on and all that shenaniganry. But no, like the main reason I've always come back is because I love Pokemon. I love playing this game. Like it makes me upset. Yeah, like I get frustrated. I remember one time when I was younger, and I don't know, you take this how you want. I was maybe like 10 or 9. I ended up breaking one of my DS because I got so bad at the game. And yeah, so like I love this game. Like don't get me wrong, like when I win like important games, like that makes me feel so great. Like yes, like I'm still enjoying this. Like it's a roller coaster of emotions when it comes to like playing the game, but it's all just love. I love Pokemon. It's been, I don't want to say like, I guess it's kind of been there for me basically. Like even when I was sad as a kid, or like when it comes to like YouTube and stuff, recording always made me happy. Just playing the games, just kind of relaxing, settling down, and all that. So always put me in good moods and stuff.
You're a passionate guy. You're a very, very passionate guy. That comes off whenever I see you play your Draft League battle. So that makes a lot of sense. Now talking about the kid stuff, we're wondering, how long have you been a fan of Pokemon? When did you first step into the community?
Oh, actually, I remember this vividly. Just because, like I said, I love Pokemon. I think it was Christmas, the day after Christmas. Like I think it was like maybe 5. I want to say it was 5, possibly 6, maybe. Yeah, like 5 or 6. And I remember waking up, and my oldest of my 2 older sisters got me a Game Boy Advance with 3 different games. It was like Pokemon Yellow, it was a Power Rangers game, and a Star Wars game. And I remember playing Pokemon Yellow on that Game Boy Advance for hours and hours, and it was just so much fun. And then from there I started getting all the other games, and just ever since I was 5 basically, like I think that's why I really just like Pokemon. Like it's always been there for me. It was like one of the very first video games I played, and it's just amazing. I just love it, honestly.
We came in at the same time. My first game was Pokemon Yellow too. That's crazy. That's cool. That's awesome. Okay, so we're going to ask you probably the top favorite question that we ask every guest that comes on the Grandmaster's table. If you were to pick one Pokemon that doesn't have to be competitively, that doesn't have to be purely off of aesthetics, if you were to say there's one Pokemon that is your absolute favorite of all time, what mon would that be?
Oh, that's easy. Superior, which I know may sound odd because my name is 6FtHax. My mascot is technically Haxorus. And then we have the Durham Druddigons. Druddigon. Love those two, like those easily top 3, top 5. But Superior, like I'm the type of person I don't really have like one favorite of thing. You get what I mean? Like I like multiple things or like everything equally. I'm also very indecisive, so that's probably why. And when 5th gen came out and I saw the starters, I was like, I don't know what it was about like Servine, Snivy, and Superior, but just I loved the design of Superior. And ever since then, like Superior became like my number one, like my specifically favorite Pokemon ever. And which is crazy because I've been doing, I guess you could say, competitive battling, singles, Smogon, all that shenanigan and draft for so long that typically if I like something, it's because it's so good in that format or it's so good in draft league. Yeah, but Superior, like it's really kind of hit or miss in a lot of aspects. It's not really considered the top of the top, but I don't know what it is about it. I loved it ever since I saw it, and it's still to this day my favorite all-time number one Pokemon. Again, Jordagon, Haxorus, very close, but love Superior, honestly.
Would you say it's because of a reptilian feel? Are you a snake fan? Is that more representative favorite Pokemon?
I'm not really that big of a snake person, but I just like Superior. Grass types are also too like my favorite type of Pokemon, so I don't know. Yeah, we'll just go with that. But yeah, I love Superior. Awesome.
The reason I ask
is the Rika Pokemon, it's royalty. It's awesome.
Yeah, it looks very royal.
Yeah, that's for sure. The reason I ask is because I think the last person for me being a fan of Pokemon from the very beginning, from Generation 8, there is one other person that told me that Superior was their favorite Pokemon. And they said because they're obsessed with snakes. And I just thought that was something that you'd be at. Like, I thought you'd have like reptiles in your house.
He's like,
no.
Leo's not owning no
I'm not a big snake person. No. I just like Superior. Give me a Superior. I will be okay. Other snakes can go away.
So the GDL, man, tell us more about that. What was the idea behind that? For those who don't know, Leo has his own draft league that he had debuted in Generation 8 called the Galler's Defenders League, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, sir.
And it was very successful. It did really, really well. Shout out to OG Albina, a really good friend of mine. Ended up at the finals with you, and you took it home. Tell us more about that. What was the thought process behind bringing in a new league, bringing in the specific people that you brought in? How did that whole thing come about? Honestly,
the main reason was because I didn't want to wait to join the league. That was like my main part. I remember like I ironed out. I started talking to Aaron 2420, now known as Olivia. Awesome person, love him to death. And we were talking, and we were like, "Oh, well, we could probably get this league going really soon because we both know like a bunch of draft league players that we're buddies with or good friends with." And we wanted this first season to kind of just be like a test run and be super fun. And I honestly think we ended up getting the full roster, which was like 12 coaches, I want to say, and like 2 days. So we got that set out. And then I think we went off tiering lists from a different league, the APA, ran by another one of my good friends, Panther 2, which APA is insane. For those of you who don't know, they do so much stuff, not only Wi-Fi, but showdown stuff too. And so we used those tiers. And then I think 3-4 days later, after we started talking about it, we started drafting, and then the season started going. Unfortunately, it did kind of fall off a little bit at the end, but we are definitely planning for season 2, hopefully, to start around early July, mid-July. So we're going to be a little bit more strict that season. But yeah, it was really just something for fun with a group of friends that we knew everybody would be there to commit to it and honestly just have fun in the end of it.
Yeah, man, the AP is a good league for you to model after. Panther and Mikey are great friends of me too. I'm one of their admin guys in their leagues, so they run a tight ship over there. So the fact that it was modeled after that is no surprise that the GDL was so successful. I know you guys, I wouldn't say you guys fell out. I think it was just more of like it took a pause. You did it really well to where I thought you guys just had a bye week. So everything seemed seamless. It was super entertaining. The games were really, really good. Being an owner of your own draft league now moving forward, I'd like to know your opinions on the mechanic of Generation 8. So we have Dynamaxing, right? Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing. I know that you guys did a restricted format in the GDL. What are your thoughts on the mechanic of this generation? Do you like it? Do you not like it so much?
I personally am a big fan of Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing just because it's the main gimmick of Generation 8. How 6th gen was Megas, then 7th gen was Z moves and all that. So I'm a big fan of that. But when it comes to kind of trying to balance things out, like what we did for GDL was that we were going to get tier 5 captains. And I'm sure if you talk to Ogle, Dynamax Kingler was kind of pretty freaking busted. That thing was broken. That
He would not let us stop talking about it. He would always talk about it every day.
Idea. And even before then, we had already moved up certain Pokemon from tier 5 to 4. Thinking, oh, well, everything left at this point in tier 5 is going to be garbage as a Dynamax happened. No, that was not the case at all. Thank you, Ogle. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, so, it was your guys' kill leader, am I correct?
Oh, it was the kill leader. It was pretty much the main reason. Well, I don't want to say it was the main reason, but it was a huge factor of why he moved on to the finals, just because he could always rely on it. It gets set up. It was bulky. It was just, that's not happening again. Okay, we're not gonna do that. so Kingler's not allowed. But like Gigantamax, like the idea of Gigantamax captains, I actually really like even more because it's kind of like Z Crystal captains from 7th Gen, but obviously just having those free 3 turns of like insanely overpowered moves can be so momentum shifting, and then you don't even know when they're going to Gigantamax. And in APA, they did Gigantamax captains with no items, which kind of made it a little bit more balanced, but it was still just insanely broken. I'm not really too sure how we're going to go about it for season 2. I would like to keep Dynamax captains or like even Gmax captains, which is, I don't know. It's awesome in my opinion. I do 100% agree though. It is broken beyond all belief. I am okay with it being banned and PU to OU and Smogon. I haven't played too much Ubers, so kind of want to give that a little try. But like in draft stuff, I don't want to see it completely gone, but I can understand why it wouldn't be allowed.
Nice. It's interesting to hear people's opinions, because some, from a competitive standpoint, aren't fans of it just because it could be not fun to prepare for, trying to survive for 3 turns, and there's others that just love it the other side of the way. So it's really cool to hear your thoughts on that. Now, in regards to YouTube and Pokemon and all that fun jazz, did you always, I wanted to ask you from the beginning when you talked about YouTube, were you always into doing Pokemon YouTubing, or was it other stuff? Or did you kind of gear away from it, maybe do a different game, come back to Pokemon? Were you always into Pokemon with YouTube?
Yes, very beginning. Like, I've thought about doing like different games and stuff, but due to basically like money issues, I didn't really like have the PC power to like do different games. But the main reason I liked Pokemon was because it was already a game I was so into. Like, I've never been like a shooter person, like a first person shooter. I like my adventure games here and there on consoles and stuff, but it was always like mainly Pokemon. And I remember just stumbling across a Pokemon battle video on YouTube, and I was like, oh, this looks awesome. So eventually I was like, hey, like maybe I can do this. I can entertain people. It gave me something to do because I had nothing else going on at that age. So I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? So yeah, it gave me a hobby. It let me do something that I ended up thoroughly really enjoying, honestly. So yeah, basically it's always been kind of Pokemon stuff. I've kind of thrown in the occasional like Overwatch upload or like Fortnite, but that was like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. But it's always Pokemon, man. I love Pokemon. Again, like, it's just what I enjoy. I've thought about maybe making videos with like my kids and stuff, but then there's also the thought of like, oh well, like, do I want to put them on the internet? Do I want to expose them to that and all that? So I don't know. Maybe. Well, I'll try experimenting with that, like with 3FtHax. For those of you who have been on my channel a while back, you know what I'm talking about. That's my oldest son, Javier. So yeah, we'll see. Like, wouldn't mind doing something with him and some of the other kids, but again, it's just I guess ultimately kind of deciding on how I would want to go about it, and if that would be okay for them.
Yeah.
You're a Pokemon man. You're like the most legendary podcast guest because you hit the segues so well from the flow of the podcast. I was going to ask you, when we're not doing YouTube, right? When you're not recording, when you're not playing Pokemon, what does Leo like to do for fun? You have like an hour or 2 to spare. You have nothing else to do. All responsibilities are done. What do you like to do in your free time?
With kids too.
With kids, yeah. It's tough with the kids. What do you like to do in your free time?
If I haven't procrastinating on building for draft leagues, then I guess I'm probably sitting down and like watching a show or something.
Yeah.
Like, that's the first thing I guess that comes to mind. I guess.
I know. That's the, like, when you have kids, it's like all you want to do is just sit down. Like, you just want to sit down and lose your mind in a show or something that, like, you really don't have to think about that much, because
exactly.
they take a lot out of you. Yeah.
The free time is very limiting, but if I actually don't have anything else to do, kids are taken care of.
It's funny because I think that's one of the toughest questions to answer as a parent, because we really don't have free time, and so it struggles to really find something to do.
And when we do, we're like, do we want to, like, be proactive right now? Like, do we really want to actually exert energy to do something?
Yeah.
So
yeah, bro, the building teams is the biggest thing that I struggle with, because we're getting to the point right now. For me personally, I actually went back to work. I was off work for quite some time. I took 2 months off because of what's happening with COVID-19
they
pandemic.
made you take 2 months off.
And they made me take 2 months off, right? And then they randomly brought me back, and I'm a supervisor of a hotel, so I came back really, really fast, and I had all these plans to do some content, and things were working great. And during the time that I was off, I would finish something, and then I told Summer, I was like, I have nothing to do. Do you want to watch a show, a movie? And in the back of my mind, I was like, I have to build this team, but I really don't want to right now.
Yeah, I get what you're talking about. Yeah.
I really need to, but I can't. It's been too long.
So last night when Daniel said that you were gonna, well, he didn't say last, but last night when he was saying you were gonna be our guest, I saw your name, SixFtHax, and, like, the first thing that popped into my head was like, oh, he's the OG 6 foot distancer, because right now everything's going. That's literally the first thing that popped into my head. That's funny. So how did you come up with that? Like, when you started this new, like, years ago when you started this channel?
Oh, it's not that interesting, honestly, but I'll tell you. So, like I mentioned before, 6FtHax, I had an older channel. So from that old channel before, in the before time, I had like 2 or 3 like really good friends I met through there, and I remember telling them or talking to them, and one of my friends actually helped me come up with my name. His name was Juan. And I was like, hey, I want to start a new channel because Generation 5 is coming out. So I was like, oh, that'll give me a fresh start on YouTube. I'll be able to get better recording equipment and all that shenanigan and be off to a good start. So I think we sat down, brainstormed some ideas. And since I remember this vividly, from the beginning of when I started battling, which was back in the near end of 4th gen, I was very unlucky. I would get hacked so badly, and so I was like, hey, maybe we can do something with hacks. I was like, I'm 6 feet tall. I can confirm that for those of you who are wondering, because I know somebody's gonna. I've always been asked, are you actually 6 feet tall? I'm 6'1", but I'm 6 feet, yes. But yeah, I was like, 6FtHax. How about that? And I'm guessing that was like the best name out of everything I suggested. So yeah, I was like, 6FtHax, and then here we are. And I'm still getting unlucky to this day. But I do get lucky on occasion, okay? I'm not going to lie. But yeah, that's the story.
Oh, nice.
Your name has thrown it out into existence, bro. That's cool. I actually never knew that. I wondered, because I know that's one of my Twitter questions that we're going to get to a little bit later on. I know that Platinum Howler, shout out to you. It's a friend of mine. He asked if you're really 6 feet tall. So there you go. That's the answer to that.
There you go.
I've always been, I thought it was
verified 6 foot tall, 6'1".
6'1", yes, but we're not going to worry about that extra inch.
We hit the bare minimum. We're on the roller coaster. It's fine. We got it. So now, for you personally, do you find it easy to create content in regards to putting on this entertaining persona? Because you are pretty entertaining. When you do your matches, there's a certain level of Draft League content. Well, let me rephrase that. When you watch Draft League content, you have to be partial, very fully, very educational in what you're talking, because some people want to know what you're doing, why you're doing it. And then some people want to have that entertainment aspect of it, to come have a good time, have a laugh, make it fun to watch. Do you find yourself that's your day-to-day, Leo? Or is it something that you got to kind of get yourself together before you record a video?
I don't know. I guess it depends. Like, when it comes to recording, I feel like that's definitely when I feel most, how am I going to word it? Not like needed, but like I want to be that entertaining. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like from day to day, no, I'm not like super well, I guess it depends like what's going on and how I'm feeling that day. But like I've always realized that when it comes to recording, like that's something that whatever happens, it's all because of me. Like it's all on me. You kind of get what I'm saying? So I want to put myself into that and make it enjoyable. Like I want to project how, like, put my emotions into it that I may not be able to do otherwise, just because we're not going to get into too many personal stuff, but some issues. we'll just leave it at that. But no, like when it comes to recording, I always like to sit down. Like as I mentioned earlier, like recording has always made me happy. So it's one of those things, like I know if I do it, I focus on it, and it turns out good, I'm going to be really happy. It's going to put me in a better mood. And like when I'm not recording, I do kind of, I guess, tone it down a bit, just depending on like what's going on. But I would still say that there's still a part of me that comes from the videos into real life. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But when it comes to the videos, I turn it up and I want to
amplify it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of how it goes. So like I may be like weary and tired. I don't know if you guys kind of noticed this before we started recording. I was kind of like a little toned down, but then I was like, oh hey, like let's get into this. Like let's go.
You warm up to it a little bit. You kind of step in right when you have to get yourself started, and once you get yourself started, then you completely take over from there.
Yeah, so it's just, I mean, at this point, I feel like it's just, like it kind of comes so natural because I've been doing it for so long. Like I said, I could just be exhausted and tired, but then I click record, and I'm like, hey, kid, how's it going, everybody? And just, we're off to the races.
And then the que pasa, Latino, huh? Latino. So your name, I would like you to pronounce your name, your full name, for the audience who don't know that so you can pronounce it correctly for everybody to know. So your ethnicity, is it Latino? You're Latino, correct?
Mexican, yes.
Okay. My parents were born. My parents were born in Mexico. They came here with my older brother and 2 older sisters. I like to think myself as the victory child because I made it to America. So yeah, I'm the first person in my family, my original family, born here in America. So it's kind of cool, I guess.
The victory child.
My real name, but my real name, I just go by Leo because throughout my growing up in like school, elementary, middle school, high school, all that, like nobody could say my real name. So it's like, just call me Leo. It's fine. Even the teachers would like mispronounce it. It's not even hard. It's 2 names basically put together. For those of you who don't know, my name is Leo Dan, or Leodan in Spanish.
Leodan. Leodan.
Leo Dan. It's Leo and Dan put together.
What do they say?
I've been called like Leodin, Leedin.
I'm like, okay, that's not that hard.
Leodane. Like nobody could say my name. It's like, it's not that hard. So I'm just like, just call me Leo. It's fine.
I feel like Summer would connect with that really well. So both of us are Latinos too, right? I'm from Guadalajara. Her family's from Tijuana, and her name was. I'll go ahead and tell the story.
My name is not. My parents were
it's complicated.
Messed up when because my name, it's just Summer. So, but it's spelled different. It's Sommar, and that's not Latino. That's nothing. They didn't even know what it was, and I don't even know how they came up with this, and they don't know how they came. Yeah.
So when you look at it, you think Somar.
That's literally what it was, like Somar.
Yeah, Somar, and that's what my family. That's what my family. My family on my mom's side, because she's Mexican. Everyone calls me Somar, but it's just Summer. And I honestly I have no cool story behind it.
Yeah, so you guys can vibe with that way. My name's Daniel, right? I go by D-Ray because my first name's Daniel, my last name's Reyes, so it's an abbreviation of my name. So I call myself the Grandmaster
but you know
D-Ray.
What?
But
I like it because it makes me unique. I've met another Daniel.
Stop. Exactly. Everyone has met 5
Daniels. I've never met another Leo Dan.
Yeah, exactly. And I've met other Summers, but no one that has spelling like me. So unless I go to Sweden, because apparently this is how it's spelled in Sweden.
IKEA. Shout out to IKEA.
Yeah, shout out to IKEA. What? I don't know exactly.
Yeah, dude, if you go to IKEA, then there's like 5 products
literally,
that are named Summer.
IKEA is the only place I can find my name.
That's crazy.
I have no idea.
Yeah, you're the reigning champion, Leo then. So that's cool.
Let's go, Lodan. I think Well, from what I was told, and I remember I looked this up like a couple years ago. I was told that my dad came up with my name because I guess like when I was growing up, it was a Mexican musician or something, and it was like he just really liked the name. And I remember going one day, like this was years ago. I haven't done it recently or anything, but I remember typing in like Leodan the artist, and like saw some like super old footage and stuff. I'm not sure if he was super famous or something. Like I couldn't find anything important, but he was like Leodan. I like the name, like the music the guy made, I guess. So here we are. So yeah.
Do you have any hidden talents like that? Do you have a side gig where you're a super guitarist, or you have anything fun you like to do outside of YouTube that you're very talented at?
Very.
The sleeping count.
For real though. Seriously.
Yes.
No, I don't know.
Like,
nothing like.
I don't know. Nothing really good at falling asleep in 5 minutes.
I'm such a light sleeper though. That's the only thing I don't like.
Are you really?
Like, yeah, like a little this like bang or something will wake me up. Or, like anytime my kids walk into the room and just open the door, I'm just like, oh, what's going on?
That's interesting to me because typically you hear from what my experience is when you're a content creator, when you're a creative mind in general, your mind is always going in regards to you working on your project. So when you get that chance where your head hits the pillow, you're out like a light.
He's a parent too, so when
I'm
you're
a parent too, but I'm not like a light.
That's true. I could just be dead asleep and some screaming children just going on in the background.
Have you ever had a moment with any of your kids where it in a funny way scared you? Like Daniel the other night.
About to put me on blast.
The other night he's working on the computer. I was like knocked out. I was asleep. He's working on the computer, editing stuff, and he has just one earphone in so he can hear the kids through the monitor because they share a room. And,
I have one in right now too.
Yeah, and so he hears a noise, and we have 2 dogs, and one of them likes to open the door and come in. So he just thought it was the dog coming in.
Wait,
and
the dog can open the wait.
Our door is flimsy, so she can.
I was this is the most intelligent dog ever.
Oh god, that would be awesome.
Our door is like a pull push thing.
Yeah, it's a
no turning of a knob.
So she can push it really hard and like pop it open. Anyways, so he thought it was the dog, and then all of a sudden he hears Dada, and he turns around.
Bro, let me create a picture for you, right? So imagine yourself like you're editing a video, everyone's asleep, and you try to be courteous. You put your headphones in so no one hears it, and you're listening, and you get this little shock in your spine where you hear something, but you don't know exactly what it is. It could be outside, it could be some kind of coyote for all I know. So you don't think much of it. So like she said, the dog comes in. So her name is Bella. She just pushes the door and it comes in. I'm thinking she wants to go to the bathroom. So I'm like, okay, Bella's here. I take one of my earphones off, and then silence. She didn't add this part. For about 10 seconds, silence. So I didn't think anything. So I continued to edit my video. And then all of a sudden, I'm about to put my headphone back in, and I just hear, yeah. And he's standing next to me with the blanket over his head. He walked all the way across the house, pitch dark, no lights on, and he ended up in the room stealth mode, standing next to me, looking at me like the girl from the Ring. He's like, Dada, he said, go pee pee. He has to go to the bathroom. And so he was just standing there, and Summer would have died if
I probably would have. My soul would have probably left my body if that happened to me.
Oh, that's funny.
The Chronicles of a
So
Parent,
with
guys.
that example, has anything like that happened to you? Like, have you ever got so scared from one of your kids?
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want something serious, lighthearted? It's something.
Oh, whatever you want to
share.
Give us the goods.
We have like a bunk bed that my 2 oldest sleep in. Well, it's not like a bunk bed. Like there's a top, and then there's like little stairs on the side. So like under the bed that's on top, like it's just floor.
Oh, okay.
So one of them had fallen off the top. So, like normally, like yeah, you're gonna freak out. And I was like, "Are you okay?" He's crying, and I'm just like, "Hey, you'll be fine. Just walk it off." So like, I don't know. Like I guess that's kind of serious. I mean, I'm not sure. Like none of them have like done anything entirely too crazy, I guess. Like,
Our son's
like
just
every
weird.
day,
It's funny, man. Like, guys, if you
every
guys
day
are,
one of them like screams for no reason.
Yeah.
what are
Like
you
a
doing?
blood
Yeah.
curdling scream. I wanted
Yeah.
like it's crazy. So like at
Yeah.
this point, unless one of them is like bleeding or knocked unconscious,
Yes, there you
Yeah,
go.
exactly.
That's what I was getting to.
Exactly.
Guys,
For
for
those of
those
you who
of
aren't
you,
parents, like the
Yes.
first one, you might be a little worried about, but then after that, the second and
yes.
third one, like trust me, you're gonna understand. Like it's okay. I
Yes.
promise. I'm not neglecting them. I'm not ignoring them.
No.
Taking care of. I promise.
that's
is
exactly what I was
done.
about to say. If for those of you who want to have kids in
Or
the
when
future
you have
or who
kids,
aren't
yeah.
aren't parents yet, there's a certain evolution you have as a parent. We felt that 100% with
Yeah,
our
for
first.
sure.
So Roman is our first, right? You have your first. Everyone tells you how amazing it's gonna be. They tell you how difficult it's gonna be in the beginning in regards to getting no sleep. But you never really truly know until they get here. So you treat the baby like it's like a small potato that if you drop, you'll
Potato,
explode.
like an egg.
An egg, and you
Yeah.
just explode. So you like sanitize your hands. You hold him, making sure you have pillows around you. All this jazz, and then it just takes one instance to find out how truly durable kids
Yeah.
are. And then you're like, all right, you're fine. Just walk it off. You're good. Because Roman was like that. He felt. I remember he rolled off the bed, and there were pillows
Our
on the
bed,
bottom.
yeah.
There were pillows on the bottom, but he was on the bed, and he turned around. He wasn't on the bed anymore, and so he was on the ground laughing. And that's where the moment we were like, okay, you didn't break. You're
Yeah.
fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
This isn't that bad. So,
But he's like boys are just so different than girls because with Roman, like he'll hurt himself and like, oh, let me see, you're okay, you know, you're fine, and he's like fine, like he's cool, doesn't cry, anything like that. But with girls, she's so dramatic. She'll literally like maybe just not even fall, but kind of like trip a little bit, and she is screaming, crying, and I'm like, you're fine, like you're good. And she's like going around to everyone like with Puchero's like pouty face and everything, like wanting hugs and stuff.
so guys, Leo is not only a really great draft league player, he's whooping your butt as a draft league, competitor, and at home he's killing it as a dad. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of skills you have to be a parent.
Oh my gosh.
And the reason why he knows why he's beating you 3 turns ahead is because he has to be 3 turns ahead from his kids.
Yes.
That's the way it works. That's the way it works.
See when they're about to do something bad.
Yes.
Yes. Leo, so guys, for those who aren't following me already on Twitter, at Grandmaster D, where we like to throw out a Twitter post to let you guys answer, basically ask questions to whatever guests we have here at the Grandmaster's table. And today was no different. We did the same thing. We threw out a question, and you guys hit us with some good ones. So I'm gonna read them off the top, Leo, and then we're gonna just answer away. You ready?
Let's go.
So the first question that we have is by our good buddy John Jr. goes by at John Jr. 306. It's a 2-part question. A 2-part question with a comment in the beginning. He says, "Hate this guy." That's just a contest of how much he likes Leo. Number 1, he says, "Why is Steve-O trash?" And number 2,
I will fight you.
and number 2 is, "What got you in a draft league? Me or this is a 3-parter. Sorry, John. Damn, dude." So part 2 says, "What got you in a draft league?" And then number 3 is, "If you love him or Jay, Jason, diet tight."
Rich J? I've never heard that one.
So the first part of that is what. So the first
Yeah.
part of that is why. Go for it. Then why
Yeah, go
why is
for it.
Steve-O trash? I'm
Why is
assuming you
Steve-O
don't
trash?
think Steve-O is trash.
People is not trash. I mean, it's not good, but it's not absolutely terrible. I like people. I don't care. I remember, like in GBL, it was originally my tier 5 Dynamax captain. Unfortunately, though, it did not have good matchups, so I had to change that up. But Devo doesn't suck entirely too bad. It's not that bad in PU. I think it's ZU now, so that might not be entirely the worst thing ever. I'm gonna answer number 3 because number 2 is a little longer. Number 3, die, just because I don't want to pick you, Jay. So there you go. And then number 2, I feel like I've answered this for like so many times. I don't know. I should give I would just give like a little summarized version of it. But I remember when Draft League content first came out, was like the middle of Generation 6. Shouts out to Magnitude Steve. I've known Magnitude like he was uploading back when I was uploading, basically. So yeah, he's been around for a minute. And he was a big sports person, so he came up with draft format. That took off. I didn't like it at the beginning, but then kind of came more around to it because of Mega Mogwai. Some of you may know who he is. He mainly uploads like card games nowadays, but like back in the day, back in like early draft league, he brought something that the format had never seen before, which was like a more competitive side. Like, yeah, draft was made to be fun, but there was never like that competitive side of it. That's why I personally didn't like it. And then I realized who Miguel was, started watching him, got in the format, was able to actually beat him for my first championship.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy because it kind of helped. Like, it's like things came full circle, basically.
Yeah.
Like, it got me in the format, and I was able to face him for my first championship, and that was really awesome. So yeah, shouts out to Mega Mogwai getting me in the format. If it wasn't for him, then I don't know, I guess maybe I wouldn't have got into it. Like I said, I am competitive, so I like the competitive side of things, and I saw that in his uploads and his videos, and yeah, so it was thanks to Mega Mogwai.
That's cool. So you've been here since the beginning. Steve made this quite some time ago, so you really were from the beginning. Holy moly. So you guys,
hey man, I'm an OG in the Pokemon community.
So we're gonna revisit Howler's question, but we're gonna kind of change it up a little bit because you technically already answered it. But there's kind of linking on to another question that most people would want to know for those who don't necessarily know you too much just yet. But Howler did ask. He goes by at Platinum Howler. He says, which championship was the most memorable of your career? And then also making it a two-parter, do you know off the top of your head how many championships you have?
Championship wins, I want to say I have 7 or 8. It should be more, but I've been lucked out of finals like 3 times. I don't like to think about it, but it's happened, so it should be like 10, but it's fine. We're just gonna move on. But no, yeah, it's like 7 or 8, depending on like. When I count championships, I like to think of the league as like competition wise, like there was good competition. Like, that's not to knock like any just random draft leagues out there, but sometimes the competition isn't like really that high up there. You get what I'm saying? So I like to, when it comes to like qualifying a championship for a championship, then yeah, I would say probably like 7 or 8. I want to say. My most memorable one, I guess it's kind of 2, maybe. Definitely my first one, as I answered earlier, is I got to play Mega Mogwai in the finals of UCL Season 1, and UCL Season 2, which I was okay. Like, that's kind of bittersweet now because of the whole Nappy situation and all that, because he was so he was such a big part of the UCL, so that kind of sucks about it, but. Just the fact that I was able to play the person who got me into the format, the person who I guess you could say I looked up to. I want to say admired, but like the person like I always enjoyed watching, that I learned from. Like, being able to beat him for my first ever championship when everybody thought I was gonna lose and nobody thought I was gonna win after Season 1, where I had to drop due to personal life stuff, so I didn't even get to finish Season 1. So the fact that I was even invited back for Season 2. Not only that, but I went all the way to win it all against the person who got me into it. Definitely, I would say my UCL Season 2 championship, because it's my first championship, and I faced Mega Mogwai. I want to say the other one that's kind of really important too is probably APA Season 3, just because I got to face another one of my good buddies, Kyle A, in the finals of that, and I remember both of us so excited to face each other and go up against each other, and that was another league where the competition was pretty good. Like, it was kind of stacked. Like, there was a lot of people who knew what they were doing, and being able to play Kyle in the finals, have a lot of fun with it, and win another championship was really awesome. But I guess if I had to pick one, UCL Season 2 for sure.
Nice. That's cool that you say Kyle, because we've had Kyle on the Grandmasters table, and you guys have a lot of similarities with your personality, so I can only imagine what your guys' friendship was. And then the amount of anticipation that you guys had going into that matchup must have been epic. Me as a fan, I was a VGC guy. I competed in tournaments about a year ago when I was a personal trainer. I had the availability to do so, and then I got more settled down, and then I got into draft. And when I was doing that, I wasn't doing YouTube yet, and I was a big fan of you and Kyle. And I remember watching that video. I was in my apartment, my apartment. Yeah, my apartment, and grabbing my popcorn, and that was an epic match. That was a good one. Was it just more so because it was Kyle, or was it the matchup itself?
Mainly just Kyle, because like we were such good friends, and we didn't really expect to make it to the finals against each other. So that was a big thing about it. It was just mainly just like, hey, I'm facing my friend. Like, this is gonna be awesome. Like,
That's dope. That's dope. Shout out to Kyle A. And then we kind of answered this question. Actually, we already did answer this question, but Sock, I'll put you out there anyway. It's Sock. He asks you, are you really 6 feet tall? Yeah, he's past his 6'1".
Verified.
Verified. He can ride the roller coaster. He's 6'1".
Yes. I'm not 5'11". Thank you very much.
Measuring him right now. So Shuckle King, he is a fellow coach of mine. For those who don't know, for those who don't know, this is a two-part thing, right? So, Shuckle King is one of the fellow coaches that was with me in the AP Academy. The APA, like Leo said, is a massive organization in the draft league community, to where there's a main league and there is a secondary league, a D league, which is called the AP Academy, which is technically at the same octane level skill-wise as other leagues already, which puts the AP main league like on another level. And Shuckle was one of my fellow coaches in that league, so I know him. He's a great guy. He's a fun guy. And Shuckle King is also your teammate in the TBL, which is a current draft league going on, right?
Yeah, love Shuckle, man. He's awesome.
So we're gonna give him the respect of his 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a 10-piece
Don't give
question.
him respect. No, go ahead.
No, because I feel like there's a lot of, because you guys spend time together, I feel like there's a lot of like context behind the things that he's saying.
There's like
and I'm sure that people would love to find out more about what he's talking about. So we'll read this as a multiple question thing, right? The first thing that he asks, he has, why is Galarian Rapidash so bad? So kind of going off what Feeble said.
No. I like Galar Rapidash. I don't think it's that bad. That's merits. Shuckle just has bad opinions. He doesn't like it at all.
I actually do like, so Shuckle, I actually do like Galarian Rapidash too. Good speed tier, good typing, good offensively, so great coverage, awesome Pokemon. I agree.
Thank you.
And then he goes on to another Pokemon. Oh, I think this is going to hit home for you because you've drafted this Pokemon so often in many draft leagues from what I've seen as a fan. Why is Noivern so bad? Shame on you, Shuckle.
I will message you for your address. I will show up in front of your house and we are going to fight. No, Noivern is not bad. Noivern is so good. It's so good. Shut up. It's amazing. Love Noivern. Shout out to my boy Galvin Nate, formerly known as Mewtwo Fan Nate. Always name my Noivern's Nate because it was his favorite Pokemon. And it was his draft captain for a while. So yeah, love Nate. Noivern's awesome. You shut up.
And then the second part, I feel like this is another context when he asks, is a Pop-Tart a ravioli?
I feel like he's brought this up before. I don't know. What are the basis of this question? Is it just because it's closed and has filling, or does it need to be a sauce? Does it need to be a pasta?
I think no.
Now that I said this out loud, I feel like
cheese on the inside.
You know what? Now
it's
that
not
I've had
sauce.
So I have, okay, I will put this out on the table, right? I have had, there's a time in my life where I had no responsibilities, a lot of money. And so I was able to sit around the house with a group of friends and do really stupid stuff. And there was one night, I remember this now, because now that I said it out loud, this was a debate. When we were not necessarily under the influence of alcohol, right? And so someone randomly said, was on Facebook and said, is a ravioli a Pop-Tart? And then someone said, are you dumb? Of course it is. And then there was this whole debate, which is true.
But, okay, I'm going to throw this out there. I'm going to say no, because a Pop-Tart is a crust on the outside more so. It's like hard. And a ravioli is also before soft. It's cooked. No, it's not.
This is true. It also has filling inside of it, much like a Pop-Tart.
Filling. But I think a ravioli is more like a toaster strudel, because it's both like kind of soft and has filling on the inside. That's what I'm
not a Pop-Tart fan, but can't you put it in like in the toaster? Doesn't that make the inside?
Yeah.
Gooey, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
This would be the same as a ravioli. I remember being pro being, I don't know, a ravioli being a Pop-Tart. So Shuckle, shout out to you for giving us the subject.
That's
now
a
we're
high debatable. Very.
I'm not sure. I think depending on the context, I guess yes. They're kind of like they have an outside with filling in the middle.
There we
There
go.
we
If that's
go.
like just the basics of it.
Basics.
And the
Unless
next
we're gonna
part,
dig deeper.
I know, right? We
That
could be
would-
here
that
for
would probably be
hours.
its own video for
Literally
its
probably
own time.
yes, exactly.
And the next part that Shuckle has, I feel like this is a deep one. I feel like he's looking for your best interest on this part. He asks you, would you consider going back to school?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
It's
It's
really-
just like it's hard because again, like with kids,
Yeah.
and then it's also like as I mentioned earlier, I'm kind of indecisive, so I don't really know what I would want to go back for.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't like I don't want to say I don't like doing work, but I was never a school positive person. Like I didn't like that's not to say that I had a bad experience in school. No, like I had my friends, every day was fine. I just didn't like going to school.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm,
I didn't
same.
like sitting there and just excuse me,
Yeah.
sorry. I didn't like sitting there and just kind of like I remember like during tests when everybody was taking tests, I remember just kind of looking up and looking around and being like, is like in the end of it, is it like is there a point to all of this? What's gonna happen? Like I don't
No, I
know.
feel
I've
that.
never been a big school person, but I guess I wouldn't mind depending on if I found something that
That's-
I genuinely enjoyed enough to do. I guess.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too, because I've like considered going back to school, but with kids, it's a way different story than like without kids. You know, you have more free time and you don't have to worry about like sitters or anything like that. But I'm like, I want to go back to school when I know exactly what I want to do, so I'm not feeling like I'm wasting my time or money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
But yeah, I
That's
don't know. Maybe
getting
we'll
deep.
see.
That's getting deep.
We're getting into the fields.
This is a really
I'm
good
not
one.
crying.
I'm not crying. You are.
Education's important, guys. So Shuckle's out here
Just
with
give me a
the
minute.
heat. I never actually like read down the entire list of questions that he put on here. Shout out to Shuckle.
I saw the
King.
first two, and I was like, I know what he's doing. We're just not gonna worry about it.
This is gonna be an homage to you being an OG from the very beginning, a pioneer. We'll have you of Draft the community. You've seen everybody come, you've seen everybody go. It's a completely different battlefield that you see nowadays. What are the top 3 generation 4 to 5? Let's say it this way. Top 3 gen 4 to 5 PokéTubers you want to see come back that aren't around anymore.
Oh, okay. 2 off the top of my head immediately. Just also because back when they uploaded, we were good friends. Rick, aka Dangerous 36M. I don't know what it was about Rick's videos. Like he wasn't like enthusiastic or like very loud, but he could draw you into his videos. Like, and I don't like he would be informative, but he would also have like his little wittiness, which is really cool. If you don't know who Dangerous 36M is, and you want to see like just some old Wi-Fi battles, like check him out. Awesome dude. I haven't talked to him in a few years, but he was really cool back in the day. Another one is Tony Flagon, which the main reason I like Tony is because he was also very analytical. And this is a big thing about me. Like, this is not knocking anybody or like I don't want to trash on anybody. Like, I like watching people that are like really good at something. You know what I mean? Like, I like watching them be good at it because I feel like I can learn more. Like, yeah, you can be entertaining and kind of be mediocre or something like that. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's not my personal preference. So yeah, both Rick and Tony were really good at the format. Rick had his entertaining side. Tony was more like analytical. Like he would explain everything like really, really clearly. So that was really cool. And for number 3, I don't know, like number 3 is kind of hard. I would say Shofu. Like, even though, yes, Shofu is still around, he kind of has his little spurs of when he uploads Pokemon. But I saw Shofu when he first got into PokéTubing. I remember, like, there is one battle I try to watch, like, every year, and I will bet my soul on it is hands down the absolute best Wi-Fi battle ever uploaded, regardless of generation. If y'all want to know what it is, I can leave a comment telling y'all what it is. But he uploaded one of like I remember all of this happening and him just being Shofu. Like now he's like, you know who he is. He's entertaining. He's competitive. He's exciting to watch. And seeing him kind of first get into the community, seeing how he was back in the day, I miss him uploading just constant Pokemon battles, honestly. So yeah, I would have to say Dangerous 36M, Tony Flagon, and Shofu for sure.
Yeah, Shofu.
Sorry that was a little long, but man, it just had so many memories just rushed back to me. Sorry.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. I actually
yeah.
don't know who the first two are, so I'm very interested. But I'm a big fan of Shofu. Shofu's an entertaining guy, and the fact that he actually wasn't around, nor did I come in the community when he was really, into uploading.
I don't mean to cut you off, but just look up Shofu versus Max Protect. It's like a 50-minute long like Wi-Fi battle. So back in 5th gen, there was no timer. Like you could literally battle for like 2 hours if your connection stayed. But yeah, it's like a 50-minute battle. Like it's so good. I don't know. Sorry. I just remembered it. Sorry. But, yeah.
No, perfect. That's good. I didn't know that. There was no timer in generation. What is it, Gen 5?
Yeah, there was no timer.
It's literally the second.
That's like the complete opposite that it is now.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I hate the 20-minute timer. You have no idea. So stupid.
Yeah.
We're not gonna get into that. Yeah, look up Shofu versus Max Protect.
Pokemon
so good.
Black
It's like
and White
the
Wi-Fi battle.
Yeah, it's like got a bronze on.
Oh, the top one right there. Yeah. Oh,
it literally when I type it in is the second thing that pops up. Okay, cool. We have it here.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's 37 minutes, but it's so good. It's so good. Like, it's 8 years old, but I would still I'll watch it at least like once a year, just because I remember watching this when he first uploaded it, and it's so good. It's so good.
That's
maybe I'm like
tonight.
Yeah, he's gonna be watching this.
Like the commentary might not be like the absolute best, but like the thought process he says, the plays that are made, the context behind it, it's so good. It really is, honestly.
Shofu, if you somehow stumble upon this podcast, we need you to do us a favor. Dust off the old skill set that you got way in the back closet that you decided to tuck away from the world. Bring it back out, blow it up, bring it back, because we need you, man. Shofu coming back to the Draft League community would be absolutely legendary.
That would be crazy.
I love his content. He's like you said, he's a great mix of 50% teaching you what he's doing and why he's doing it, and he's 50% entertaining just from the sheer the way he laughs is even funny. The things he laughs at and just delivering on his YouTube videos is absolutely phenomenal. So Shofu, we need you back, my man. And
awesome.
Shuckle King, so he had so many questions. We're gonna do one more just for the sake of time because he blew you up. The last one that I'm gonna ask.
Let's make it a good one if it's one more.
This is what I'm gonna ask her here because I feel like I don't know if this is something that I'm.
The favorite bridge?
What?
I don't know the name of bridges. Is it the ones that I've burned in the past? I don't know.
There it is. I feel like his plan just came full force right there. That's what he wanted. But the question that I want to ask you is here because I don't know if this is this is going to be something that's like completely out of the blue or serious or not. But what's your favorite pie? See, there it is. Yes.
His indecisiveness is kicking in.
I'll keep it PG. I guess apple pie. I don't know.
There you have it, guys. If you guys know where Leo is and if you see him out on the street, hand him a slice of apple pie. He'll be a happy man. But Leo, the floor is yours, man. Do you have anything going on pretty soon? Anything in the works that you're going to be bringing onto YouTube or any other platforms? The floor is yours to plug away.
Actually, ironically enough, tomorrow I'm going to be uploading my side finally after taking forever of my finals game for the GDL. So if you live, by the way, so it's going to be live commented if you guys want to see how I won my first Gen 8 championship. Hopefully a season 2 will be coming. The DLC is dropping soon as well. So I want to start doing like laddering and doing some more showdown lives and whatnot. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, plenty of Draft League content to come for those of you who enjoy that. I want to see some Smoke On stuff. I'm going to be trying to throw that in there as well. And yeah, just what I have going on my channel. Back in the day, kind of just modern times. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't know. Things may change. You never know. But yeah, check me out. And yeah.
I highly recommend you do so, guys. Down in the description below, I'll leave a link to his YouTube, to his Twitter. Do you stream? Are you on Twitch or on Facebook Gaming or anything like that?
I haven't streamed in a while. I have an Instagram. I don't really post there much, though, if you want to follow me that, I guess.
So I'll leave a link to that, too. So make sure you guys blow him up, like every single one of his photos. Get onto his YouTube, watch all of his Draft League battles because this man is a legendary Draft League player. I'm telling you, he is a fiend. when he plays the game. There's a lot to learn from Leo, so if you guys are new to the Draft League community and you're just stepping in, you want to learn from scratch, Leo is a great place to start. He's got some awesome battles that are on his YouTube channel that you guys can learn from, so I highly recommend you go check him out. Again, I'll leave a link down in the description for you to do so. And Summer, do you have anything else before we sign off?
No, thank you so much. It was cool talking to someone else that has kids.
Yeah, man.
Relating, yeah.
I'm telling y'all, the moment if you want kids and you're sitting down with someone else who has kids and the kids aren't in the room, it's so relieving.
Yeah, they're asleep right now.
Yes.
So Leo, thanks again, man, for joining us here in the Grandmaster's
thank you.
table. Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Hope you guys did enjoy, and yeah, love y'all. It was fun. Thank you.
All right, guys, so we're gonna call it there. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and above all else, be nice. Peace.
Bye.